Welcome back, you beautiful people, to another episode of Shisha Saturday. It's me again, Cars, and today I'm still in Hong Kong, and I'm with a special someone. Not my special someone, but a special someone from the hookah community, Phil Ho. Can you tell us where we are, what do we have here in front of us, and who you are?
Okay, sure. Hi, I'm Phil, one of the partners at Zona Rosa Cafe. We run Shisha here. So we're in the Causeway Bay area right now, which is kind of developing for Shisha. Usually you get all your Shisha in like Central, where the party district is at. We like to call ourselves like a more chill lounge and just like more for relaxing, you know, not really the party kind of atmosphere. We enjoy Shisha here quite a lot. So just kind of introduce what we're having here. I packed a lemon tea for Cars. It's a mixture of Tangiers lemon with trifecta Earl Grey and trifecta cinnamon and a bit of dirty mint as well. This is a dark matter pipe. It's a Russian made pipe. It's a really good price point for what it is. It's a very hefty pipe too, so it's super durable, full stainless steel. It smokes really well. It's all super quiet because of the diffuser.
Almost nothing.
Yeah, almost nothing, man. Like it's a big difference, right? And it's very interesting design too, because like I noticed that there's a bottom cap that has a small hole at the bottom. So in contrast to a lot of the other pipes with diffusers, like I have a hookah here as well. That's also pretty smooth and quiet, but the holes are a lot bigger, and the bottom doesn't have a small hole. So it's just like the whole stem going through, and then is a traditional one, right? But very interesting design with the dark matter, I would say. Like this is the first time I've seen like a pipe with that little small hole. I'll show it to you later, actually.
Because I've had experience with some of those, what you're saying with the diffuser without a hole at the bottom. Yeah. What I found with those is that they're harder to clean, because if there's any tobacco that falls, it's stuck there.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
What's this bowl actually? What's the bowl that you have here?
Okay, so this is the BR made Monarch bowl. That's the full name of it. It's a stone bowl, so it's literally made of stone, right? And I really like this bowl, especially when we pack dark leaf, because it retains heat really well. Right now we're using a Provost foil method, but it's actually got the grooves for a HMD. Like you can put like Lotus right on top of it, and it's got the little like
the lip.
Yeah, it's got the lip on it. Designed is really well. I haven't tried it yet because we don't have the Lotus here, but we like to use the foil method a lot more. I like it because of the lip. You get that little gap, right, when you put the foil on top. The foil never touches the molasses directly, right? So you get that little space, so it just bakes it perfectly, right?
That's a nice thing, actually. I noticed, because sometimes the difficult thing, especially if you have if you ever try to use an HMD like the Lotus, it's the tobacco sticks on the bottom and it's very hard to clean. Yeah, and especially even if you're using foil, there are some people who say like, oh, there's like maybe for blonde leaves that it's good to touch the foil sometimes, but most of the time when you have a little bit of space, it's a nice way to even out the heat.
We're Zona Rosa Cafe at 511 Lockhart Road on the second floor. We're in Causeway Bay area, so feel free to come by anytime. Yeah, it's a pretty chill place to be. We're usually open around 6 because most of our guys work like a day job, right? And then we just come by after and just, you know, work this place as a chill place, right? So we close on weekdays. We close a bit earlier, maybe like 1 o'clock, but on weekends we stay open till like, you know, 3. Yeah, maybe 4, depending. Yeah.
I just want to talk about the bowl that you made. It's actually a good bowl. I mean, I don't know if it was a challenge for you, because I just thought some people do these days, especially with the Russian tobaccos that they get, because a lot of Russian tobaccos right now, they have spices like cashmere or something like that, where they added to some of the flavors. So I was asking from Phil, I was asking for an iced tea, citrusy, mixed with some bit of spice. And right now, what's the cinnamon that you use again?
It's the trifecta cinnamon gum. It's got like a sweet but also spice taste to it, which is quite overpowering. I think I was a bit heavy-handed on the cinnamon because I was kind of packing fast. It's still a nice flavor to smoke sometimes, and I think it pairs really well with the Earl Grey, because the Earl Grey is a bit bitter. It's got a very bitter aftertaste, so when you add the cinnamon in, it kind of mellows it down a bit. Some people don't really like the bitterness, right? Like it's not a nice aftertaste to have all the time. So it's a good to even it out, you know. And I added dirty mint to as a base to like make it minty, a bit minty. So you always like to have some mint inside, right? So
it's actually my personal preference to have mint in almost everything. I think a lot of people also do that especially when they've been smoking for a long time already. The cinnamon is a bit overpowering, so I recommend that you guys try this mix as well at home. Do you remember the proportions of what you used?
So probably like 10% dirty mint, and then maybe I put like 25% Earl Grey, and then another 25% of lemon, and then the rest is probably cinnamon, because I was pretty heavy-handed on the cinnamon. So
it's about 40% of cinnamon. So yeah. So if you do this mix, maybe try to tone down on the cinnamon, and it's gonna be good. Because right now I can still taste, a bit of the lemon and of course the Earl Grey, and a little bit of the dirty mint, and it was just 10%. I could still taste them, but the cinnamon is just a bit overpowering. Yeah. So again, good mix. I recommend it if you ever have. Especially if you have this bowl also. I want to have this bowl too. And last thing, man, what can you expect from Zona Rosa in the future? Like, are you planning on getting more flavors or getting more hookahs in your lounge, or what?
Yeah, like, so I mean, right now majority of our pipes are the Zara Spade, which is our best bang the buck.
Not as good as this one.
It's not as good as this one, but obviously it's a traditional pipe, right? So it's for more modern traditional types. A lot of people like the Zara, which is good, and we use a droid hose with it. So we like the wide draw, right? A lot of people like the wide draw, so it takes a lot less effort and everything to just have a puff. We also have a hookah that we serve to VIPs or whatever. We also have another dark matter coming in as well. Like, their dark matter takes quite a while to ship, unfortunately. I saw a couple guys on the forum complaining on their shipping speed and everything, but I was okay. I mean, I waited for a month for this, but I mean, it's not too bad. So yeah, it's worth the wait for sure. Like, the only issue that we had with them was that we actually ordered a more like Russian type, like the
I don't know this shape.
Yeah, the other shape. That base came as well, but it broke in the shipping. So we were like, we kind of complaining, and they were like, oh well, we'll just give you a refund, right? So, and they were pretty prompt to refund. It's pretty good in general. Like, I would say Hoob, actually, their bases are pretty rock solid. Like, I brought that thing with me to Canada for holiday and whatever, and then I just shoved it in my luggage and kind of just packed it with clothes or whatever, and it was fine. Like, you know how your luggage handlers are, right? They throw your luggage around, but it survived. So I mean, I was pretty impressed with the quality of it, and I dropped the base like a couple times before.
Why?
No, it's just slipped out of my hand because I was washing it, right? And the water and everything, so it was still okay, and there was no cracks or anything. So I mean, they're pretty rock solid, right? I was really impressed with it. I actually like smoking this out of the boho base because even though the stem is a bit short for the boho, but I mean, you get thick smoke from it too. So
it's still purchased in one blow.
Yeah. So yeah, right there.
What about flavors? Do you have any plans for future flavors?
So for flavors, we're actually stocking up a lot on Azure now, because we actually like a lot of the Azure stuff. I've been just kind of testing it out because I don't know how it is, right? So I just bought 500 grams of each flavor just to kind of try out. I don't want to buy too many and then it's kind of bad, and you're like, oh crap, I have all this stock and I have to smoke it, right? So
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good test trial, and then our largest brands right now is probably Tangiers and Trifecta, because Trifecta is a good dark leaf. A lot of my partners as well, we feel that it's a good for medium, intermediate smokers, or even just beginners and that's trying to dark leaf, right? So it doesn't you didn't acclimate it or anything, and you can just throw it in, and it's pretty good with heat as well. So that's why I think Trifectas are our biggest flavor wise. We do have some Zomo and AF of course.
Of course.
Yeah, so AF mint as a base for a lot of things, and yeah, I mean we we plan to keep our trying to keep our flavors within a certain amount, so we don't have like a huge crazy amount of flavors, right? I mean, like you've been to like EC, right? And they have a ton of flavors, but I mean it gets confusing, right? We're coming from like and also from a business mindset, right? Because like like people come up and then usually just like, oh, what do you recommend, right? So we don't want like 5 brands of the same flavor, right? So it gets kind of tough, right? And so we kind of just are a good idea is just to like pick what you think is the best flavor for each brand or whatever, and then just stick with it, like the best flavor, and then of that like fruit or whatever, right? Like and then it'll be pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, because the last thing you said, I want to ask you something that might be controversial with some of the viewers we have. What's the best double apple flavor for you?
I don't smoke double apple.
Oh, that's the most controversial answer again.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of double apple. Like I haven't had a good double apple before. I mean, we do have trifecta apple 509 or whatever it's called, and then we also have a Tangiers apple as well. But I'm okay with the trifecta one. It's a blonde leaf, but it smokes pretty well and it tastes decent, right? I'm not a big fan of the apple flavor, even though I like eating apples, but like I haven't had a really good double apple.
I understand.
Right? So
it's also a journey for me right now. Like right now, at least with the community, as if you could see, like some of the people are liking right now, especially when you said Azure, the Dubai apple. So if you try that, I don't know. For me, I like to mix it with some of the traditional double apples because it's a bit too bitter for me, but it might be something that you like. So go ahead and try it. Try the Azure flavors that you have, man. It's a good thing that he said all these things, because like as you can see, if you ever come here to Hong Kong, any of you guys definitely visit Zona Rosa, and you can meet up with Phil here, because he's pretty much an American style hookah smoker based on what he said. Yeah, a lot of the community standards he has, especially Tangiers, trifecta, and now coming with Azure. So he knows his stuff. He knows the flavors that are good for you guys. And of course, if you have any suggestions for him in the future, maybe you can hit him up on Facebook. He's on Hookah Enthusiast. He's a pretty active member of the community. So do you have any last thing to say, man?
Smoke on, guys. Come up when you guys can. Find us. We'll be open during those times. I said 6 to late usually. But I'm like, everyone just chill and smoke on.
That's good, man. So before we end this, I'd just like to remind you guys to subscribe, like the video, and of course share this video with all of your beautiful friends, the hookah community, of course. And if you have any friends who are still interested in hookah, want to get into it, of course share this video with them. And if you have any friends that in Hong Kong or going to Hong Kong, definitely share this video with them so that they will know where to go. And with that, I bid you guys goodbye. And goodbye with Phil. Yeah. Thank you, man. Bye-bye.